Hello there folks, today we are taking a look at 7 Ronin. It's published by Grey Fox Games and the designers are Marek Mydel and Piotr Stankiewicz.
The game takes place in one village in ancient Japan. This village is run over by the clan of ninjas every year and where they just steal all their food supplies for the winter. For the first year, they decide to hire 7 Ronin to protect them and defend the village. So whole this game is opposition between the ninja clan and 7 Ronin.
Oh, look at the game! So one of the players represents ninjas who are attacking the village and the other player represents Ronins who are defending the village. The game is played over the course of several rounds until one of the winning conditions is met for either player. Now for ninja, in order to win, he needs either to control 5 different village areas or eliminate all of the Ronins. Or for Ronin, in order to win, he needs to either wait until the 8 rounds are finished and he's still on the board and the ninja player hasn't still met his winning condition, then he wins, or eliminate all ninjas. That's simple. The game starts, and the round starts with deployment. The secret deployment. Each player will get his screen, put his screen in front of the board, and each board is a replica of the central boards. And then he will plan. Ninja player can take as many ninja tokens as he wants to his hand. He has some deployment limits that are written here. For example, here it's written that he can deploy in up to 3 different areas in the village right now. And then he puts these ninjas somewhere on the board and does something, let's say, like that. At the same time, the Ronin player will plan and put all of his different Ronins on the board as well, on the small board here, secretly. Then both players will reveal, then we'll put them into the ninjas and the Ronins into the appropriate spaces on the board. Let's say it was here, here, here. Let's say I planned better. Maybe I put something here, something here. And then we will look. At first, the Ronin player will get to activate his Ronin's abilities. And there are various abilities, like for example, as you can see here as well, Hayai, if he's on a free area, so which is not occupied with ninjas, move to an area with ninja, or Taiko, remove 1 wound from another Ronin. So there are different abilities, or some of them can jump onto ninjas, some of them can basically archer. This is Yumi archer. He can, if he's on a free area, he can strike a ninja from the reserve of ninja player into the general supply, from where basically these are the kill. And these are all the different abilities that the Ronin player will apply if he can or wants to. After that, if there are still someone left on the spaces with the Ronin, the ninjas, these ninjas will automatically attack Ronins, and they are basically representing wounds as well. So for example, Yobu was here with 2 ninjas still left, so these 2 ninjas go on him, and every ninja has the life here. So whenever it's filled, that that Ronin is killed. But you can continue the game until all of your Ronins are basically killed. And you do that for quite a few rounds, and the deployment limit will be increasing, but also the ninjas will be starving at some point, and the ninja player will lose the ninjas from the reserve. Also, after putting this, after doing the injury phase, if let's say, for example here, let's say if ninja player has still his ninjas on the boards free of Ronins, for example right here, he can apply ability of the village here. And there are different abilities, for example, as well. I can show you here the watchtower. Deal 1 wound to each Ronin on adjacent village area, for example. Or this well says choose 1 Ronin and deal him 1 wound. Or maybe the shrine, choose 1 Ronin, their abilities cancel for the next round, and so on. And there are different abilities that you can use, but only if they occupy with their ninjas alone that particular space. There's also the central space, which basically you can deploy whatever, doesn't matter whatever the deployment limit is here, you can put one ninja, you can plant one ninja here. When you have ninjas here, they will increase your deployment level of these spaces right here. So for example, instead of maximum of 3 that you can deploy each round, for example, you can say that now you can deploy 4 ninjas there. And that's how the game works. I like the components of the game. They are a good quality, and the art is, I think it's fine for me.
I actually really like the art. It's really detailed on the character sheets, and the board is beautiful, and I actually appreciate and really like that the boards are stylized, and they're like different for different factions. So for ninjas it's really like drawings on sand, and for villagers is more like a plan of village. I think it's really smart. I really like.
But I do have some caveats with those boards.
Unfortunately.
Yes, they are not really functional. At least they need these extra icons, special ability icons on them maybe as well, in order for you to plan it, for make the deployment phase much easier for you to distinguish different village areas. It's really hard to understand where is what, and it's just...
Yeah, that's the thing, because it's really stylish. They didn't add the special icons, the special ability icons. You constantly have to double check, like you're always checking your board with the board in the middle, just to be sure that you're putting on the right place.
Yeah,
which
and it's confusing.
Is annoying. So if they would just add the icons to the stylized board, that wouldn't ruin the style, but it would add the functionality.
Yes. When there is style versus functionality, then functionality is a priority, in my opinion, in that kind of games with more areas and icons. Yeah. So, and the other thing that I wanted to mention are the ninjas are represented by these ninja stars.
Yeah.
And they are tiny. They're tiny. They are too small. I'm a small man. I'm like, I have small hands, small fingers. Even for me, they are really, really small. It's just so hard to grab them. They fall off the hands. You need to make them at least twice bigger. And they will still fit on the board, I'm sure. Yeah. But overall,
unfortunately,
everything else is fine. All the other components are a really good quality. I like
So yeah, this is the place where like, we kind of like the components, but kind of there are problems. Fortunately. But the gameplay is really simple and quick. I believe the box says 15 to 30 minutes, which is quite accurate. We have played somewhere in between, more like 30 minutes.
20 to 30, yeah.
Yeah, the rules, the gameplay, the turnarounds are simple, but there's so many those special ability icons that are like, the first gameplay is overwhelming. So you'll go through for example, the Ronin's abilities, and then by that time you kind of forget the special abilities of the village tiles.
Yeah.
This is a little bit hard to grasp it with the very first game, but I definitely don't say that it's a bad thing, because this is the game.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the game, you'll understand all that, and like combining special abilities and making them work for you. This is the whole game. And I actually really, really like it. You just have to get through that first time.
At first you need to just see what are the abilities and try to be familiar with them. But as soon as you know them basically by heart, and you're not double checking all the time, you can put all your thinking into how to, let's say, outsmart and outguess your opponents. And this game is all about that. Basically, you're trying to understand where your opponent will go while deploying your own troops. For ninja or for Ronin, doesn't really matter. And there is also luck involved, of course. Some of the Ronin abilities have this kind of if the Ronin is on a free area without the ninjas, or if he's on contested area, and that means a lot. So you need to double check that. You need to be sure that you are on a free or contested area, but sometimes the luck is not on your side, I would say. But it's normal with the outguessing games. Yeah,
and it's tactical in that sense, because you really have to adapt
to completely tactical.
What's on the board.
In my opinion, there's like strategies, like maybe 10% of strategy, maybe a little bit. There's a little bit strategy. Yeah, little bit, like.
Yeah, I believe that the rules say it's about barrier intuition. So I would actually say it's a little bit outsmarting, but it's hard. So intuition is actually a really good word here. I like it and it works.
Cool.
So what additionally I found in this game, what I like in the games is that if game brings tension, and I had tension, especially when I was playing as ninja, then right before like opening the screen, you have the tension. Will I manage to get my even plan into action or not? And that it is not big, of course, because it's a small game, but it's still there. And as soon as I notice that, which means it for me, it's good. It's like it's a notice of good thing in the game.
Yeah, I can see
Sorry
that.
if you get me.
Yeah. But there's no tension if you still need to double check all the things. And in my opinion, it's a little bit harder to play with a Ronin player, with Ronins. Because with Ronins, you are looking at your own abilities, then you're looking at the abilities on the board, and there's so many of them, and then you're trying to understand how to put your Ronins the best way in order to get the best of like your own abilities, and so your opponent will not get abilities on the board, and it's so much of that extra information there for the Ronin player. While for Ninja player, I think when he looks at the board, like when I played Ninja, I didn't really, I wasn't really looking at the abilities of Ronin player. I was like, whatever, I'm just looking at what abilities I want on the board, the village area abilities. And but on the other hand, I would say the ninja player is probably harder to win. Yeah.
I agree on that.
So there's a balance of that.
At least in our gameplay, it was with both times the ninja player lost. But I wouldn't say that for ninja player you don't really have to like check and keep in mind the special abilities of the Ronins. It's not true.
Yeah, I mean, like,
but it's
but it's a little bit.
But I agree, it's still harder for Ronin player because you have to put 8 of them. With ninja players, you always have to choose like 3, 4, or 5 areas.
Yes. Yeah.
So
overall, it's a good game. I like it. It's not great. It's nothing really like outstanding 2-player game. There are personally better 2-player games out there, but it's a good one. It's a good mix of tactical aspects and different special abilities. I like it. If somebody will approach me and say, let's play 7 Ronin, I will play it.
Yeah.
I'll gladly play it.
Yeah, kind of same here. I did not expect to like it as much as I did. I think I expect it to be like meh, whatever, but I actually find there's something about all the massive amount of special abilities and the way you combine them and the way like we didn't get to the deep bottom of the combining all of them.
Yeah, I see.
So I actually did like that part a lot. The game would be definitely fixed a lot with the bigger tokens and like a bit more functional
boards. Yes.
But I still say it's really good 2-player game because especially it's like asymmetrical one, and the fact that you can even if you don't switch sides, it has enough of replay value because of special abilities.
Yeah.
Sorry, but even if you start switching, you'll find even more. Yeah. So for 15-30 minutes, I think this game has quite a lot in that.
Yes, quite a lot. Maybe that's the caveat. It has a little bit too much in that. Maybe. I don't know. I need to play it even more in order to understand that. But one thing I wanted to mention, there's the rule book. When I looked at the rule book, it has so many rules. To be honest, like it's a thick rule book for such a small game. But once you play it through, it was easy. It was like when I went through the rule book, it was like, oh, just written so like there's so much written text there. But on the other hand, the rules are so simple. There are some small extras and rules and such, but overall, don't look at this rulebook as like, oh, it's too many rules. Come on, really, you can go through it. It's not as hard as it seems.
Yeah, most certainly. It's actually quite easy to grasp. It's really, and all the special abilities you don't have to keep in mind. They're all on the screens.
Yeah,
as
the
well,
reference sheet is really good. I like that. Yeah. Everything is clear. So let's go to the dice ratings. Yeah.
I give this game 7 dice out of 10.
I give this game 7 stars out of 10.